This is my 2014 medium wheelbase Fiat Ducato van that I bought back in 2021 for £6,000. I've spent the last couple of years converting this old builder's van into my own little adventure wagon with pretty much zero experience. So I thought it was about time that I actually show you guys around, because for the last 2 years I've done an entire van build series on converting this van from day one.
Have I put this on the wrong way around?
Oh my god! It's been a hell of a process, so much learning involved, so much fun, and one heck of a challenge.
We're getting there, people.
My god. So I'm going to show you guys around the inside, the outside, and give you a full tour of this van. The first change that I wanted to make was get some proper all-terrain tyres on here. So I went to the boys at Road Alloy in Reading and they fitted some all-terrain Grabber AT3 tyres, which have made a huge difference in the way the van looks. And also, I've driven this van to Austria. I've driven it to loads of different places in different terrain, sand, snow, you name it. These tyres have been absolutely brilliant, not only as a tyre, but also from a personal point of view and the way that it actually looks. So like most bog standard vans, I've got a 230 volt hookup point that if I go to a campsite, I can plug in and I can recharge the lithium batteries which I've got inside. I don't use it that much, to be honest, because I rarely go to a campsite. Next to it, we've got the water fill up point. So when my water tanks, which are underneath the van, are empty, I can just again go to a campsite, go to a hose pipe and just fill up the water. So these windows were not originally here. And for a lot of people, when they do a van conversion, this is probably the thing that they're most fearful of actually cutting metal out of the vehicle and replacing it with glass. For me, I actually didn't find that a problem. Just measure once. No, not measure once. Measure twice. Cut once, otherwise you will make mistakes. Mine actually did leak the first time that I installed it. However, I just put some silicone around the edges to stop it leaking and I've had no problems whatsoever. And in the future, to be honest with you, I would probably get a different style of window. Probably more caravan windows that actually pop out that way, just because I think it's a bit nicer than the window just sliding up to here. I've added a couple of wind deflectors on the driver's side and the passenger side. These are great because you can just crack the window a couple of inches, which means you can actually get some airflow in, and when it's raining, this obviously stops the rain coming in, so you can still have the window open. It's been a while since I've been on top of my van, but I wanted to show you what's on top. It's absolutely filthy. I don't think I've cleaned it since the day I bought it. Look what I've just found. Oh my God. How long has that been up here? Anyway, on top of this van, I've got two 175 watt solar panels that give me 300 watt total of solar power. So I've got a light bar at the back, which originally I did think was a good idea. However, after actually using it, I've realized it's pointless. I put it on here because I thought when it's pitch black at night, I wanted that additional light, which could help me reverse. However, where I've actually put it on the van, it doesn't quite work. It needs to be sat on the back doors rather than up high. I got the ladder on the back because I thought, why not? I just like the ladder. I like the overlander look, and that's what the ladder gives me. So we're going to take a look inside the garage, which is actually underneath my bed. And to be fair, this is a very decent sized storage space, which, as you can see, I've got a lot of crap sat in there right now. I've got a shower point at the back of the van, which means when I park up somewhere, if I go to the beach, if I go for a walk, I can just whip the shower out and have a nice hot, boiling hot in fact, shower, and I've used that plenty of times. I absolutely love it. Probably one of my favourite features about this van is parking up somewhere, getting hot and sweaty and just being able to have a shower up the back. I've got a 1600 watt multi-plus Victron inverter. I've got a DC to DC battery charger, which basically means that my batteries will charge up from the alternator when I'm actually driving. And of course, connected to the solar panels on top is an MPPT charger, which is basically like a solar charger, which transfers and transforms the solar energy into energy that can actually be used to recharge the batteries or for me to actually use in the van. Don't quote me on any of these specific details because, like I said, I didn't know what I was doing. I've learned so much through this entire process from some amazing people that helped me actually build this. I've also got the Bobble Van's hot water system, which is absolutely brilliant. I love this thing because it actually will heat up the water as I'm driving, which is great because when you park up somewhere, you've got boiling hot water, and also from the excess solar on a nice sunny day. So the back doors, I tried to add a little bit of storage because otherwise it's a bit of dead, wasted space. Just went to Amazon, bought some Velcro storage unit things, stuck them on, and they just house a few of my bits and bobs. Got a nice little travel memo, travel quote, just to keep me inspired and motivated throughout life. I'm gonna go into the inside of the van, my absolute favorite place, and make a start with the bed, which I am absolutely delighted to say I've upgraded very recently. So a lot of you will know when you're sleeping in a vehicle, van life isn't always glamorous, incredible views, silent nights.
Is someone exploding fireworks?
Oh my God, they're just there. It's often parked next to noisy, busy roads. You've got boy races, you've got people dogging in the woods. So having a good night's sleep is always so bloody important. So I want to say a big thank you to Emma Sleeps, who are the guys that have sponsored today's video. They have supplied me with this brand new van mattress, and honestly, it has made such a difference. I've actually decided to get rid of my old one because it wasn't comfortable enough. And now I have not only an Emma Sleeps in my own home, which I've been using for the last couple of months and absolutely loving, but also I thought, I need one for my van. So they're a one-stop shop for all things mattresses. They're absolute experts in this field. One thing that I really love is they've got a 200-night risk-free guarantee. So what that means is you could sleep on this mattress for 100 days, 150 days, even 199 days. And if you then decided, you know what, I don't like the mattress, you could send it back to Emma Sleeps and get a full refund, which is great because that's about 6 months of the year that you can actually test out your brand new mattress to see if it's comfortable enough for you. So one thing I didn't actually like about the mattress that I had in here before is that in summer, the van obviously gets really hot. The mattress also got boiling hot, and in winter, again, it was quite cold. But this brand new one is going to be brilliant because it regulates the temperature so much better in summer and in winter. So if you guys want to check out Emma Sleep, you can actually get a discount right now. So don't miss out. There's a 55% discount, and you can even get an additional discount if you use my code down in the description box below. So the big question that honestly I get all the time is, Will, why did you buy a Fiat Ducato and a medium wheelbase? Couple of reasons. One, I only wanted a Fiat Ducato, a Citroen Relay or a Peugeot Boxer because they are actually the widest vans that you can possibly buy. I think anyway. And the reason for that is I'm 6'2". I wanted to be able to sleep widthways because it just frees up so much extra space in the vehicle for living space. I decided to add these 3 Winnie the Pooh picture frames, which have got some nice little quotes on them, just to remind me to stay happy on a nice rainy day. But one of my favourite quotes here is, we didn't realise we were making memories, we just knew we were having fun. And that is what this van has brought to me. So much fun, and the biggest reason why I love it is it gives me so much freedom. So this isn't a huge van, it's only an L2H2. You can actually get, I believe, a H3L4, which is the biggest Fiat Ducato van, and one that I would like to potentially get in the future because there's a lot of extra space in that. But storage is always a little bit tricky. However, I have got a very decent size, in my opinion, cupboard which houses most of my clothes or most of my storage when I actually go away for a couple of days or on holiday in the van. I decided to actually add these cupboard lights in all of my cupboards because it's obviously dark in here, and once you open this up, the light automatically comes on, and when it's dark outside you can actually see what's going on. But a nice little touch, just normal cupboard lights which I bought off Amazon. I've scattered USB sockets absolutely everywhere in the van. We've got some inside the cupboard, we've got some next to the bed, we've got some down in the kitchen area, everywhere, because you never know where you're going to need to charge something. So next to my bed I've got a few different switches. The first one is the heater, which currently right now in summer you definitely don't need, but this heater has been a godsend. I've taken it to Austria, I've taken it to France, to Belgium in minus 15 degrees. It is the Autoterm diesel heater, without doubt, in my opinion, one of the best diesel heaters that you can get. Not that I've tried all of them, but I have tried 2 Chinese diesel heaters, and this happened.
The thing's gonna bloody blow up.
Oh, you mother...
What the hell is going on here?
Underneath, I've got my water level gauge, which tells me what level my water tanks are. So currently we're on 2 bars. When it gets down to the lowest level, it will actually go red and tell me that I need to refill it. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you'll know that I love absolutely nothing better than being inside this van, sticking the football on, cooking up some dinner, and just lying in bed watching the football, because I've got a very tiny ditzy, I don't even know, or I can't remember the size of this TV now. It's just a 12-volt TV, which I've got an Amazon Fire Stick plugged into, which means if I wanted to, I can just chill out on the bed, watch some TV, watch some football, or even if I was sat down on one of the other chairs, you can swivel the TV around. I can't say I use it a huge amount, definitely not in summer, because I'm usually out and about when I'm in the van. So for ventilation, I've got the Max Air fan, which I love. In summer and in winter when I'm sleeping, I usually have it on just to get rid of all of the condensation and moisture in the vehicle, and also when I'm cooking, just to get rid of all the steam and grease straight out of the van. So underneath the bed, as you guys would have seen earlier, I actually have the garage, which pretty much takes up a third of the van. We've also got my CRX Dometic fridge. A lot of people recommended to actually get the 50 litre, but a lot of people also said it's actually not enough space. And this 65 litre, I've got to say, with 2 people in here, with a girlfriend, with a friend, with a partner, whoever it is more than enough space. One of my absolute bodgery, but jobs I'm really proud of is this. It doesn't look pretty, but it works. My sliding table. Why am I proud of it? Because one, I never thought I could engineer something like this. It is so simple. It's literally on 2 runners. I trimmed down the thickness of this wood because it was too thick to actually slide in and out. I then put this handle on, and you know what? It works and acts as a perfect little dinner table. Nothing fancy, very simple design, but it works an absolute treat. He says, oh, you do need a bit of weight to push it back in. So seating wise in the van, there's not a huge amount of space. I've got a single bench, which to be honest with you, is for a relatively skinny, thinner person in life. In this bench here, it's more than enough space for 2 people. I've also got some storage underneath, which again, I make the most out of. I just cram a load of crap in there that I don't always need to get hold of. So I don't have a huge amount of worktop space. So when I'm chopping, I either pull out the table, or I've actually also got an additional piece of countertop kitchen space. It's not huge, but again, it's enough to store jars, to store your ingredients, and to do some chopping. Also, again, as I was saying earlier, in a small vehicle, you've got to make use of every inch of available space. So underneath this bench, I've actually got my toilet. So you just slide that out, get your toilet out, and I have to admit, many days, many nights, and many experiences sat on this toilet doing my bits. Whew, can you smell that? One of the main rooms and spaces in a vehicle to obviously do some van life cooking for heaters. That's all I ever bloody cook. But love this little kitchen. I've got a 2-hob gas burner. I've got the Voyager 4500. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but it's brilliant. I've used this so many times to actually cook ingredients that need to go in the oven, to actually cook ingredients that need to go on a hob. The only annoying thing that I've got to say about it is it used to rattle a lot when you're driving because it's metal on metal. So I actually went and stuck on a load of plastic mold or something just to try and stop the rattle, because it was rather annoying when I was driving. Storage wise in the kitchen, I've got one cupboard here underneath the sink which just houses all of my kitchen cleaning appliances. We've got a couple of drawers here which me and my good friend Neil made out of some old floorboards. They're not pretty, but they're sturdy and they certainly do the job. Under here, in this one here, we've got things like fire extinguisher, fire blanket. Thankfully haven't ever had to use that yet anyway. Just things like a rice cooker, a George Foreman, and all of the extra cooking bits and bobs. The last bit of kitchen storage that I've got is actually very similar to the bedroom area, is this cupboard. And as you can see, I've added a nice cupboard light because again, it just helps at night when it's all dark in here to be able to see what the hell you're doing. I've got cutlery, I've got pots and pans, I've got plates, I've got the basic necessities that you need. You could live in this van, and you know what? I have lived in this van for more than 2-3 weeks, but I've just realized that full-time van life, it's not something that I personally want to do. I use this van purely now just for adventures, just to go out with mates, and just because it gives me that real sense of freedom. I've got this IKEA sink, which I love because it's nice and spacious. You can actually get bowls and pots and pans in there to actually scrub properly. I've got this tap, which I actually ended up buying from eBay. And because of the hot water system that I've got, I can actually get boiling hot water and cold water, which is great. I, of course, must have gone on Instagram or Pinterest and seen this. I had to do it. It's like a typical van life style, isn't it? But just went and grabbed myself a couple of jars from Amazon, screwed them on top, and now it just houses my porridge, my rice, my sugar, whatever cooking ingredients you need. Now I can't get it back on. Where are you, bastard? There you are. For me, what I've realized is once you actually build the van to 80% completion, it is all of these fine little details and attention grabbers that make the van add that character and make it feel like your little home on wheels. And to me, this is, like I said, my little zen area, because everything in here is something that I chose. It's all personalized to me, how I want things to work, how I want things to be, and I love it. So in the cab area, I installed myself a nice little swivel chair, which, to be honest with you, with a vehicle of this size is an absolute necessity. This is the chair that I spend most of my time on, watching the TV, looking out the right window, looking out the left window, and just enjoying time inside the van. So to add a bit of privacy in here on the windows, I've got these Van X curtains, which do a bloody good job. They're completely blackout. The ones on the opposite side, because I kind of modified and built the frame on the window a little bit smaller than the actual window itself, I had to go into an upholstery. An upholstery? Someone who does some knitting and crafts and all of that to make the curtain a little bit smaller and to actually make it fit. So to add a bit of privacy and actually cover up the cab area to stop people looking in, initially when I first bought the van, I just had some suction cup window covers which I would literally just stick on to the front of the windscreen and the side windows. However, after doing that every single night, it was an absolute ball ache and a pain in the arse. So I decided to invest in some Remus cab blinds, which in my opinion are so overpriced. I'm going to be honest with you, they're great, but they're made out of bloody paper mache. They are awful and flimsy, but again, for the convenience, I love them. I think they're great. They're so quick and easy to set up. A bit of a nightmare to install, but I would buy them 10 times out of 10. So there we have it. That is a tour of my 2015 medium wheelbase van called Mary, who I absolutely love with all of my heart and soul. I've done an entire van build series of each individual process of actually building this van with these bare hands somehow. A massive thank you to every single person that actually helped me develop and learn these skills of actually building this van. I'm now creating videos on every different type of vehicle that you can camp in, from a folding caravan to a Morris Minor with a teardrop to a Jurassic Park van conversion. So if you guys want to check out the new videos, I think I've just gone for a red light in his Morris Minor. It's so funny to look at it now because that is my bed and my home for the night.
This is absolute madness. It is freezing. Oh my God, it's getting worse.
Then make sure to check him out, and I cannot wait to share so many more amazing vehicles and crazy adventures with you guys. Make sure to subscribe, make sure to give the video a like, and as always, I will catch you in next week's video.